Happy Monday, everybody. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. It is May 12th. Hope you had a great weekend. And in this video, we're going to take a look at Organigram Global. Their Q2 2025 earnings came out today, and they did beat. They had a huge beat. Kind of reminded me of an Aurora earnings report. But the whole sector continues to be a bit weak this morning. Just not getting any love. We had SPY confirming multiple daily bull flags. But don't worry, the time will come for MJ stocks soon enough. And we'll take a look at the OGI chart towards the end of the video. And I did call that we could more than likely see somewhere around $1.32, and that's exactly where we topped out today. You literally can't make this stuff up. But overall, absolutely great numbers from Organigram. Love the report and the company long term. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Full disclosure, I do own OGI in my portfolio. Pretty large position, very, very bullish, like I said, on it long term. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And speaking of X, Organigram Global did post earlier today record sales, market dominance, global momentum. So swipe through for the highlights of their recent financial results. So 102.8 million in record gross sales, 65.6 million in net revenue. So that did beat earnings estimates. In my video that I posted, it was 61.27 million is the Wall Street consensus and analyst estimate. And like I said, came in at 65.6, so big beat there. Adjusted EBITDA was 4.9 million versus 1 million in Q2 fiscal year 2024. And international sales surged 6.1 million, 177% increase year over year. We also saw something similar with Curaleaf. We're probably going to see something similar with, there's the demand for international sales has been insane, and we know that some companies, I think it was Canara as well, said that they've been getting phone calls all the time. Wholesale for flower has doubled just in the last year, so just expect more of the same with Aurora, your Canopies, your Tilrays, and even Curaleaf saw massive international sales growth. So this is going to continue to be a trend, in my opinion, and I think these companies that are well positioned in these international markets on a global scale are going to benefit tremendously. And I do think that LPs are turning a page. It's very, very clear to me that we're starting to see them differentiate themselves from the rest of the pack, and I think LPs are going to be where it's at over the next couple of years. I think there's a very tough time ahead for American MJ. I do own, Curaleaf in my portfolio as well. Not to say there's not going to be winners and losers. It's just LPs, Organigram, negligible debt. Like, man, things are really looking great here for these Canadian LPs. So the EPS forecast was negative 0.0374, came in positive, and it was positive 0.31. So again, very reminiscent of like an Aurora earnings report. If we scroll down here, they'll go down to the net income. So net income was 42.35 million. So you can see here net earnings loss per common share diluted positive 0.318. So they had an absolute crushing of those numbers. So they beat on both revenue and EPS estimates, earnings per share. Overall, fantastic report. Like I said, record gross revenue 102.8 million, record net revenue of 65.6 million, and I mentioned in the earnings prep video as well that it was more than likely due to that acquisition of Motive, right? And we're starting to see that their number one position increase anticipated Motive cost synergies to 15 million from 10 million. So that was another key point. Net income, like I said, 42.5 million. Total cash position 83.4 million and negligible debt. So love to see it. I didn't get a chance to join their conference call, so I'll see if I can watch it after the fact here. I'll get the replay. We'll scroll down and go a little bit quicker. So collective project marking entry into the fast-growing U.S. and Canadian beverage categories with current distribution in 10 states and 6 provinces. So they did say that they started selling hemp-based drinks in the U.S. as well. So that's great to see. The number one market share position in Canada after that Motive acquisition. And like I said, synergies expected. Closed third and final 41.5 million tranche of 124.6 million following from the investment from BAT, British American Tobacco. So I won't run through everything here. It's pretty lengthy. I highly encourage you to check it out. It was a very impressive report. But overall, international sales stood out. Excise taxes, 37.163 million. That is insane. 102 top line, bottom line 65 million. And like I said, a third of that went to excise taxes. Just imagine if it switches from a flat rate to a percentage fee. And, that could easily add $10 to $20 million worth of excise tax that would have went to excise tax onto their bottom line. So, like I said, I'm very much a believer that Canadian LPs are going to be the spotlight over the next couple of years, especially as these companies in the U.S. Again, Curaleaf's a little bit of an outlier, but pretty much all the other companies in the U.S. they don't even have a full distribution in the U.S. yet, so they're going to have to expand to Canada. Curaleaf's already in Canada, so it's very ahead there, right? It's an international and all of the U.S. as well, pretty much. So a lot of these U.S. operators, they're going to have high capex, capital expenditures, and they're going to have to dip into their cash reserves, or they're going to have to dilute to offer stock-based compensation to acquire different companies, to expand to different areas of the U.S. and get licensing and international. That's going to be very, very difficult, but there will be probably a lot of mergers and acquisitions as well. But I'm really liking this report and Organigram here over the long term. It's looking fantastic. Gross margin adjusted was 33% as well. So like I said, we're starting to see it's up nominally here. It was 31 compared to Q2 2024, but overall trending in the right direction. So love to see it. If you haven't already checked out the broader market, it's been absolutely ripping after the China and U.S. trade deal they lowered tariffs for a brief period of time, and then they're talking about working out a longer term trade deal, and we had multiple daily bull flags on SPY. You can see here the yellow was the first, and then the green was the second, and they had bull flag targets of 586, 587. I mentioned this many times last week. Show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. Boom, get the China news. There you go. Never been more accurate. Show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. This has been great. SPY not even that far away from all-time high now, and this should be nice wind at the back, so to speak, for individual stocks. But yeah, less than 5.5% away from all-time highs, which is pretty incredible. And if we jump over to the OGI chart, I mentioned this as well, that we could still see some more upside. We were not yet daily overbought. We had some room to go. We had a daily inverse head and shoulders. We had a bull flag target as well. And check this out. The bull flag target was 132. You literally can't make this stuff up. The high of the day today was 132. And I don't just, put these lines here and these patterns in here and just guess, right? This is just technical analysis 101. We also had a daily EMA 12 and 26 bull cross looking great. And then the inverse head and shoulders target is 156. So it's entirely possible that we just fizzle out daily inside bar, maybe even daily consolidation into tomorrow. We'll see how most likely going to depend on the rest of the sector and the broader market. If, SPY's probably due for a pretty big pullback at some point, it'll be healthy. So that would more than likely indicate a higher low on OGI, but we could come back down somewhere around that $1.20, or sorry, $1.15, $1.10, form a daily higher low, and then trend higher from here. But overall, things are looking great, and we were expecting $1.32. I thought it would have been a little bit higher today, to be honest with you, but the whole sector just continues to be muted. CGC is now actually leading the pack ahead of OGI on percentage gain today. But as you can see, most of the sector just isn't really budging. We're seeing, on average, a couple percent up today when individual names in other sectors are up tremendously, especially crypto. And this plays into my belief that, again, we're going to continue to see big tech, crypto, AI steal the show until they see their blow off top, which we haven't seen yet, in my opinion. I think it's close. I think it, maybe a couple months out, maybe 6 months max. And then I think we're going to see rotation into MJ stocks, and I think it'll be a big beneficiary of big tech, crypto, and AI topping out. It's been in a 5-year bull market, and MJ's been in a 5-year bear market. So it would stand to reason to me that, especially with so much reform potentially ahead in the U.S., safer banking, rescheduling, getting new hopes. So I'm very, very excited for the next couple of years ahead. And we're starting to see market breadth open up and market expansion open up. The M2 money supply is showing global liquidity and a risk on in the markets. So I think MJ should benefit, but again, we're not going to be, seeing crazy, all-time highs or 52-week highs anytime soon, right? It's going to be probably a 2026 story. But like I said, LPs are going to be the place to be and what to watch over the next couple of years, in my opinion. All right, going in it there, it's Rod with Pow Group. Let me know what you think of this earnings report in the comment section below. If you joined the earnings call, let me know what was your biggest takeaway from that. Like I said, I didn't get a chance, but I'll try to catch the replay. All right, it's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll catch you on the next video.